mood because as women, we have the opportunity to experience and enjoy a multitude of moods. And you know, we don't have to give any warning. We can go from this to in a split second. But also got me thinking about my favorite piece of jewelry from the past. And I have it right here. It is a mood ring. You know, we should all wear mood headbands, so whenever we met up with somebody, we would know exactly what it is we're dealing with. But the idea of the ring was that we put it on our favorite finger and think favorite thoughts, and hopefully would end up matching whatever it was that we were wearing. It's charming, isn't it? It is. I'm happy. It starts matching. Raging purple. No. But in thinking about this mood ring, it also led me to start thinking about something else. Now, this particular aspect of the program, I put together in the 80s. So, bear with me. But in the 80s, there was something that was given out by actually someone from up here, Bracebridge, Melville Marketing, and it was called a tension test card. Yeah, you remember this, and you go, wow, it worked on the same concept of the mood ring. You would take your favorite thought, you wouldn't think about your family, you wouldn't think about your finances, you wouldn't think about anything else that started with F. That could include your husband. And you know, the idea was the same, that you placed the finger on there and it would change color. And basically it gave you 4 colors. And that one day, in I believe it was 1985, I sat there and I looked at this card and I thought, oh my goodness. Whoever designed this card not only based it on the concept of the mood ring, but they have designated a color and basically a form of tension or mood for each of the decades that I have lived. And I started thinking, wow, wouldn't it be interesting to look back for a bit to see if we can get a greater understanding of where we are today and where we might be headed. Are you ready to take this journey with me? For those of you who are over 45, perhaps over 50, I'm going to remind you of a few things that perhaps you have forgotten. For those of you under that age, let's consider this an historical moment. It is bound to give you some insight and a greater understanding of the women that you are working with, perhaps that you are related with, or maybe that you work with out there beyond guiding. Are you ready? The first category was blue. And in the blue zone, you know what? We were happy. We were really, really happy. And I think, you know, maybe that was the 50s. And we all wore a great, big, goofy grin on our face. Yeah, the rock around the clock. Oh, we were happy. Oh, yeah. To a little girl, you know, life was very simple. We'd go through the Eaton's catalog. We'd say, Mommy, I want page 26. And Mommy would order page 26, and you couldn't wait for it to arrive. And Monday, you'd wear page 26 to school. And little did you realize that every other girl in the class chose page 26. Yeah. So they all looked alike. Our choices were so simple then. If we wore shoes, we wore PF Flyers or Keds in black or in white. And dress shoes, Buster Brown, or was it Lady Jane or Lady Jane Patricia or whatever. With I had orthotics, so you know I had flat feet. And you know, everything was just so simple. We led our lives according to what we saw on TV. And one of our favorite shows was Father Knows Best. So you know what? That was a reflection of our lives, or so it was supposed to be. And I remember in Father Knows Best, The first sign of him coming home from work, it didn't matter where the kids were playing, they would scamper and say, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!" They'd open the door, they'd take his briefcase, they'd hug his legs. They would escort him in. His wife would be on the porch in her apron. Escorting him into the dining room where there'd be a tablecloth, china, linen. Everyone would be seated. They would enjoy a delicious home-cooked meal. The kids never acted up. They never spilled milk. They never burped. Complained about the food. Thanks, Mom. Good night, Dad. And that was the quality time. And the dad would lean back and think, what a glorious world I'm in. Well, you see, our house didn't look like that. And it started off with, if we were playing somewhere on White Avenue and there was a hint that perhaps the gray Pontiac was coming down White Avenue, we ran like heck in the opposite direction. Because we lived our lives according to, if you get into trouble at school today, there'll be hell to pay when your dad gets home tonight. So we were fearful of our father. But you know, think of the ads on TV. Brush up, brush up, brush up with that new antenna. It was all about the smile. Oh yeah, we just smiled through our days. Go back, when you go home tomorrow night, look at old family photos, and it doesn't matter how dysfunctional your family is. They all wore that great, big, goofy grin. Now, you see, the little boys in our lives, they had a simple life. They had a simple life, and life to them was just all about playing. You know what? You play now and you work hard later. And they'd get out their favorite ball, and it was an Indian ball, but that's not politically correct, so it was a native Canadian ball. And they'd go up to a wall, and they would play anything, and they'd whip that ball, go crack, and they'd have all these games, and we'd go, oh boy, little girls on the sidelines, like, I don't know about you, but I was kind of a tomboy, so I was always getting into trouble, and I was ill-mannered, and I didn't like to wear dresses, but boy, I wanted to be able to throw the ball like that. But you know, little girls, like, we couldn't, because we were led to believe that when we were born, that somehow the upper part of our arm was surgically attached to the side of our body, so that when we went to throw the ball, we kind of looked like this. and that's what started the phrase, you throw like a girl, because, you know, you just kind of whip it like that. So we had to do simple things. We did simple things like we'd get one ball, we'll just leave that there, and we would do ordinary movies, lappies. One hand, the other hand, one foot, the other foot. Go up and over, go up and over, go on and back, go back and front. Two eagles, two idols, curtsy, salute, and no, wait! So someone said, I got a great idea. How about we do this? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And we would do that until we were at 13,025,000. But you know, we would get together and go, okay, there's got to be more here. Like the guys are satisfied over there throwing that stupid ball against the wall. There's got to be more. We did the skipping, you know, girl guy, dressed in blue. These are the actions you must do. Stand to the captain, bow to the queen. Turn your back on the dirty submarine. Okay. So some of us took up marbles, but we would get together, and I remember one of us had the creative brainwave. It was probably after our morning coffee in grade 3. And one of us said, okay, girls, here's the deal. When you go home, I want you to go into the bottom drawer of your mother's bureau, and I want you to take out something that looks like this. You see, we were creative back then, weren't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
just a snap. They knew they could play all they want later, but they had a responsibility as they grew up. They'd have to be educated, they'd have to go out and be in the workforce, they'd have to serve and protect, perhaps wear a badge. They would look out for the rest of the world. Little girls, though, little girls, we knew exactly what would be, because our life script was written into a little booklet. And we were given, in terms of career choice, we had 3 choices. We could be a nurse like Cherry Ames, we could be a secretary, or we could be a teacher. However, if you went to Holy Rosary Catholic School, we had an attachment. We could be a nun and do all of those things. But truly, our life script was designed in such a way that many of us as little girls, we kind of believed that perhaps, possibly, maybe, we were born the princess. And you know, we saw the little princess dolls, and we saw the shows Queen for a Day, and royalty was important, Barbie was important. And when we dreamed of things like meeting up with that handsome knight. And all we would have to do is we would gather all our resources, do the research. We knew exactly when he would be pulling through the forest. We'd position ourselves at the edge of the forest, waiting. Trying to appear to be as attractive as possible, waiting for the opportunity when he would be riding on his white horse, bypass us on that, and he would notice us out of the corner of his right eye. And he'd pull on the reins and go, whoa, whoa, buddy. And he would see our beauty and reach out for us. And with one hand, with the strength of Attila the Hun, he would pick us up. Okay, he would drop the reins. Can somebody help me out? He would pick us up and place us behind him on the saddle of life. And together we would ride off into the horizon. Him throwing words, blowing words back into our face. I promise to love you and serve you and protect you all of our living day. Well, apparently my prince got lost in the forest. And being a male, he's much too proud to have stopped in